Hi, I'm Neil Enoch and welcome to Train Talk TV, the podcast about all things railroad. Today, fall foliage trains begin this weekend in some northern climes. Blues music is on tap on board the Alaska Railroad. Germany will soon test its ICE train through the Chunnel on its way to London. Bombardier's order backlog totals over $30 billion. Weekly savings on Amtrak as well as Via. And a video look at the Canadian Museum of Rail Travel in Cranbrook. Well, if you follow our Railway Weekender, you'll know that fall foliage trains have returned to North America. We'd like to thank the folks at foliagetrains.com for the footage you're seeing now, and there'll be more as fall progresses and summer draws to a close across the country. Some railroads run special trains, some just carry on a tradition of viewing through their standard trains, but even Amtrak gets involved. They're adding their great dome car back on the Adirondack service so people can watch the leaves. I've ridden through the fall in New England on the train and there is nothing like it. It's a ride you'll long remember if you take it. Check the show notes for the full video. Blues bands Champagne and Temporary Sate will play a live concert on board the Alaska Railroad, providing a complimentary soundtrack to the fall colors of the scenic Chugach forests, passing glaciers, and the wildlife. The special blues train is a tours package from the Alaska Railroad and Blues Central that runs from Alaska to Seward on September 18th. It kicks off a blues weekend of dining and dancing. Susie Kiger, Alaska Railroad Director of Passenger Sales and Marketing, says it's one of their most popular specialty trains, with riders looking for a getaway for the weekend. On October 18th, Germany will test its popular Intercity Express, or ICE, high-speed train through the Chunnel. This is the first step in allowing direct service from Germany to England. The rules had to be changed to allow the shorter 200-meter ICE train to replace the normally 375-meter Chunnel trains. Germany got in the queue before France, so if the test goes well, I'd expect to see French TGV as well as German ICE trains as a regular sight in Britain. Multinational rail builder Bombardier's backlog of rail orders has climbed over $30 billion. Now let's do some math. With a last quarter revenue of $2.1 billion and a year ago's quarter revenue of $2.5 billion, that's 5 to 7 years worth of orders. Hopefully Bombardier's trains do not figure too highly in U.S. President Obama's $50 billion infrastructure initiative. If they do, he may be waiting at the platform for quite some time for his train to come in. Last week we told you about some great deals for weekly travel on the Via Rail site. This week I've been told there are also similar deals on Amtrak. The URLs are here and in the show notes, but I thought I'd do a quick comparison of the two systems. If you don't have a particular date or time in mind and you're flexible, Via Rail has the better system. If you know exactly when you want to go and which train you want to take and where you want to go, Amtrak's got a pretty good system too. Either way, with fares as low as 20% of the regular fare, both systems are great. Shop the weekly deals to get a good deal on train travel. If you've got night lighting on your O-gauge layout, you'll really like these reflective decals from Cab Trains of New York. I'm hoping they make a set in HO or N, and I'll let you know. And these ones are for BNSF, but it would be sure nice if they had even just the stripes along the boards, the red and white stripes that lots of locals have on them. I'll let you know how we make out. Well, I've been asked if I model trains, and yes, I do. I'm going to give you a few seconds of video of my very much under construction N-gauge layout. I can't show you more without my son's permission, as he's my helper. Welcome to the Canadian Museum of Railway Travel in Cranbrook, British Columbia. Like many of you, I've driven past this museum a number of times, never stopping in. My loss. I did stop this time and was amazed about what they have to offer there, not only in terms of the equipment they're showing, but the story they're telling. It is an engaging tour that makes you want to know more, and there's very little else you can say about a museum when it makes you want to go back. Instead of having a bunch of cars that you can just wander through, the museum has organized its cars into trains, which it's endeavoring to collect all the cars for each train, and each train is a tour. There's a lot to know. There's a lot to learn about each of these trains. You walk down a pathway between the trains, which will soon be covered by a new building, and you learn everything from how the finishes of the trains are restored to the detail that lies underneath some of the paint. I'm going to let the staff and the recordings tell you a bit more about the museum.
It was the first car of the train immediately behind the locomotive and the coal tender, and usually just ahead of the diner.
Then we get into the day parlor car. It's to be used for short trips of about 2 or 3 hours between Montreal and Ottawa. We're in the dining car Argyle, first car here at the museum in 1977, bypassing the
Tour guides and the pre-recorded information in each car convey a wealth of information that would be very difficult to achieve with any other method.
Was chosen for this car in the Celerio car over the more standard Honduran mahogany used in the other cars. When walking into the Somerset, note that the right side of the car has been restored.
This is a great car. They've restored one half and left the other half in its quote-quote modernized version, which has to be removed to get to the good stuff underneath. The detail, the finishes, the arrangement of the cars, everything has been done, restored by volunteers to a standard that you won't see almost anywhere else, I would say. It's an amazing tour, lots and lots to see. I only got to see 2 trains. I'll be back for the rest one day.
Please have a seat on the benches if you like.
It's called the Palace Sleeping Car, and it would have had these green seats along both sides, or the seats, of course, would come together as the lower bed and the upper.
Curved beveled mirrors. The Art Nouveau style inlays are also occurring on the end of the seats and along the trim above the berths. There are inlays everywhere, like vines growing across the surfaces.
You are now in the observation lounge of the car Curzon, yet another masterpiece of Edwardian railway car design, the special long baggage mail express cars. The museum does not yet have these last 3 cars, but they might possibly be found someday. This ends your tour of the 1907 Sous Spokane Train Deluxe.
Be sure and check out the ballroom from the Royal Alexandria Hotel in Winnipeg, the centerpiece of the museum's new building. However, it doesn't end there. Lots of new static displays are under construction, including a model railroad and a cafeteria. Museum Director Gary Anderson, his staff, volunteers, and museum supporters have done an amazing job pulling together important pieces of Canada's rail history. You can follow the links in the show notes for more information. Better yet, drop by the museum, take the tour, live the experience. Well, it's fall and model train show season has started. We'll be at the Great Edmonton Train Show in Edmonton next weekend. Drop by the booth, say hi, and we'll put you on the camera if you have anything to say. Please comment on the show and share your comments or opinions or anything you like at info@TrainTalkTV or follow us on Twitter @TrainTalkTV. This episode is sponsored by Cribscape's collectible cribbage boards, unique 3D railroad cribbage boards for the railroader in your life. Available at www.cribscapes.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.